Hello, my name is Matthias Cavodi. I'd like to welcome guys to my channel. Today, we're going to talk about music. We're going to give comic books a rest. I need to clean the palette. And I'm going to take this video like a public service announcement. We're going to talk about a band I sort of feel like has been forgotten over the years, and they haven't put out an album since 2007. We're going to talk about Silverchair, a fantastic trio from Australia. They only have 5 albums in their discography. One very interesting aspect of this ranking that we're going to do today is pretty much we're going to go in order, like from the first album up until the third. We're only going to mix things up with the last 2 spots. So, without further ado, we're going to get into this ranking of this band that had influences from grunge. You can hear Alice in Chains in the sound, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, but also Black Sabbath. Later on in their career, they're going to have this proggy influence. You're going to hear a little bit of Peter Gabriel in there. So, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So first, we're going to talk about their first album, number 5. We have Frog Stomp. Came out in 1995. They were 15 years old when they recorded this album. And it's a freaking impressive album. It's, even though it's not perfect, at least half of it, it's not the best. It ranges from filler to, okay, we're going to skip this song. The singer of the band and also guitar player, Daniel Johns, still has a lot of way to grow as a songwriter. He needs therapy too, like he's writing about a lot of dark stuff, like Suicidal Dream. This will go on till their second album too. Outside of that, Daniel is a fantastic singer. The big hit off this album was Tomorrow, and he just kills it on that chorus, the verse. He's a freaking impressive singer. I couldn't believe that when I read that they were between 15 to 16 years old when they recorded that song. His guitar in general, his playing is really good. Chris Jono, I probably butchered his last name, on bass. Fantastic job. His sound is super thick. He uses big muffs all over the place. And on drums, you have Ben Gills, Gillies. Again, sorry if I butchered your last name. The rhythm section on this band is super solid. They do a really good job. And in general, their songwriting, the instrumentation is 100% focused on the song, building and crafting really well-written songs. Still here in this first album, there's a long way to go, but as the albums progress, the instrumentation and their arrangements, the arrangements that they make for the songs are exquisite and beautiful, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So, let's go to number 2, Freak Show, 1997. Here we have a band that has grown. The songwriting capabilities has gotten better. Daniel John is still depressed on this one, but his lyrics are more polished and not as on the nose as they were on the first one. But again, he was 16 years old. On this album, you can sort of hear the 3 types of Silverchair songs that you're going to get. In general, you get the heavy Sabbath influenced, with super riffs that we had on the first album are present on this one. They're present on almost all of their albums. They really know how to write some really heavy-hitting riffs. Then you have these more like alternative metal or rock type of tracks, more in that vein. Maybe a little bit influenced by post-grunge. And then they have these like more ballady type of songs that they're shooting for the radio singles, but never compromising. Like they don't sell out. They write really well and quality songs. So Freak was like the heavy song. The alternative rock one, or the more like the post grunge type of song, would be Abuse Me. The track The Door, it's super solid. So this album's not perfect. It does have like one or 2 fillers, but not as bad as the first one. So let's go to the next spot. Number 3, we have Neon Ballroom, which, like, from this point on, all these albums are masterpieces. They're fantastic from front to back. The songwriting here has gotten much more sophisticated. You can hear a lot more money on production. Like you can hear string sections, orchestra, piano arrangements that are pretty elaborate. Like, they're super interesting what they're trying to do with the piano. Its presence on quite a few songs. You can hear the progginess come through on some of these tracks, like Emotion Sickness or Steam Will Rise. You can hear like maybe a little bit of influence from bands like King Crimson that can make you uncomfortable and stuff like that, or maybe a very small touch of Nine Inch Nails. There's also like a little bit more of a electronic production with a song like Anthem of the Year 2000. Anna's song and Miss You Love, to put big two radio hits, puts this album up on that masterpiece tier. But let's go to number 2, where I actually put their last album, Young Modern. It's like they're not afraid to experiment and push their sound. Like you can hear this progression. The last album came out in 2007. They did a risky move. They dropped the Sabbath riffs that they did so well, the heavy songs. They really embrace a sound that reminds me a lot of early Peter Gabriel, even Daniel's voice, the way he sings. And without being heavy, the songs are very energetic, very proggy, experimental, art rock, very present too. I heard it, I didn't like it, but it's grown on me over the years, and it's, again, super solid from front to back. It's really sad it's their last album. But at number 1 in this super short but sweet ranking, we have Diorama. This album, it's really impressive. Like the first time I heard it, just one of those albums that had me nodding with a face like of approval. Is like, oh my God. Every single track is like, oh shit, that's awesome. Oh my God, that one's incredible. Like with the opener tonight with its orchestral arrangements, it feels very pretentious, but in a good way. It's like a statement. It's like, guys, we're very serious in making awesome music. The Greatest View has a bone-breaking riff with an insanely complicated chord progression on guitar. It really shows. I'm not sure if Muse used to listen to this band. They overlapped very briefly, but like I feel like Silverchair walked so Muse can run. Like Young Modern, this one's a very engaging album. It really pushes you. They really push their sound. One Way Mule probably has the sickest riff ever. I love every time that song comes on. I just pump up the volume. And I'm going to leave this very brief video here. If you haven't listened to Silverchair, please go out and listen to any of their albums. Diorama and I think Diorama, listen to me. Diorama, I think it's the most accessible of their albums. Maybe Neon Ballroom is like, it's maybe a little bit harder for someone who hasn't listened to this band for the first time, jumping on that one. So I'm going to leave this video here. Again, listen to this band, Silverchair. They're really awesome. Bye.